Guys, this is Mr. Ivan. So if you have problems sketching the graph and you realize that you spend a lot of time on graph, this is the right video to come to. In this example, I will show you how to use the curve rule properly and how to draw your x and y axis so that you don't have to redo and then get it wrong at the first time and then spend a lot of time on it. Okay, so if you look at this question, the question gives you an equation y equals to 2x minus 1, 3x plus 1. Okay, so I will write it down. y equals to 2x minus 1 and then 3x plus 1. Question asks you to find a. Okay, so a is the y value and the x value is 0.5. So I put in a equals to 2 times 0.5 minus 1 and then 3 times 0.5 plus 1. Everything is to be done on the graph paper. And you can work this out using your calculator. You get a equals to 0. Okay, so that's the first part. And labeling is very important. A. Okay, now B. They say that using a scale of 2 cm to represent 1 unit on x from -2 to 3. So because the x from -2 to 3, okay, first I have to apologize because I forgot to bring back my ruler during this COVID period. So I have to use my handy dandy time zone card. Okay, because x is between -2 to 3, which means that the from 0, 0, x is in quite kind of like in the middle. Okay, so at your graph paper, do not draw the x first. Always draw the y-axis first. Then we look at the table. The highest value of the y is 50. The lowest value, -1, which means there is a very huge scale for the y-axis. Okay, so in this case, the y-axis, I can just safely draw it somewhere in the middle because the amount of space I need to leave for x and on the left and the right side of 0 is about the same due to -2 to 3. So I can draw a very long line. Okay, starting from the top of the page, label this y first. Leave maybe 1 block, okay, or maybe even 2. Over here, we start at 50. Okay, and then now let's count because they say 2 cm to represent 5 units. 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 0, and then all the way to the bottom, -5. Okay, so it's enough. All right, so it's enough. If this is not enough, then for the 50 part, we have to move it up. Okay, so since this is enough, we can start to label. 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. So this is the part where it is 0. So when you know that it's 0, then we start drawing the y-axis. Okay, 0, and then at the bottom, -5. Okay. Once you draw the x-axis already, it's very easy to label the x values, and they say it's 2 cm to represent 1 unit. So this is 1, 2, and 3. -1, -2. Do not draw anything more than what the questions ask for. Okay, and then at this point of time, it's just about plotting. -2, 25. Put a small x here, make sure it is accurate. Okay, -1.5. So -1.5 would be between -1 and -2, 14. 15 is here, so 14 would be here. Okay, -1, 6. 0 to -0, and then -0.5, 1. Okay, 0, -1, 0.50, 1, 4, 1.5, 11, 10, 11, okay, 2, 21, 2.5, 34, and then 350. Okay, so this is where I take out my curve rule. So in the curve rule, if you can feel the curve rule here, there's some groove. Okay, the other side there's no groove. The one where the numbers are facing downwards, right? The one that's numbers that's facing downwards, there's some groove. So use the groove part to draw. Okay, so with the groove part, now those points that are kind of far apart, like for example these first 3 points, okay, you can just put it down here. Okay, now you look, I left a little bit of space. Okay, I do not put the ruler exactly on top of the X. I left a little bit of space because the groove is going to take the little space that I'm going to put there. Okay, then once you have it, okay, due to space constraint, let me see how I can navigate around this. Okay, once these 3 points, you know, they can be close to each other already, take your pencil and then draw for these 3 points. Okay, the hard part would be the next 3 points where it starts to curve. Okay, where it starts to curve. So slowly make sure you twist the curve rule to fit these 3 points. Okay, make sure you take your curve rule to fit these 3 points. The amount of space you give for the groove to cover, it should not be a lot. Okay, and then yeah. All right, now you realize that this is not very good. Okay, this is not very good. In an exam, it's not acceptable. So we have to do it again. Okay, for space that's not very good, do not just accept it as it is. You know, do not just accept it as it is. Make sure you do one that is good enough, and do not just think that, okay, this one I think can, because in the exam the teacher will not accept. Okay, leave some space for the groove and then join. Okay, and then we go down. All right, yeah, this look more like a curve now. Okay, and then curve it out to the other side. Okay, and then the last 3 point which curves upwards like that is easy to draw, so we will just curve it upwards. Okay, and then the last 2 curve it now. Okay, now then we come and scrutinize this again. This is not acceptable again. Okay, so those that is not acceptable, clean it and do it again. Just the small part of it. Sometimes it's not easy to get it correct at the first place. Okay, so this one is because I have a water bottle here that obstructed it a bit. So because it's approaching the curve, when it's approaching the curve, okay, make sure you curve the curve rule a little bit more. When it's approaching the curve, the minimum point, the turning point, make sure you curve it. Okay, make sure you curve the curve rule a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. Okay, and then for this part, in fact, it could be better. It could curve down a little bit more to get it. But please make sure there's no additional pencil markings. Okay. Yes. Okay. Sometimes if you think you are okay, we will just use a freehand to try and complete it. Okay. So this is how you're gonna use your curve. 2 points by 2 points or 3 points by 3 points. Okay. And then you should be able to get a curve like this. Okay. So next, the graph asks for, so this is B. And when you have B, label the graph. Okay, and once you have the graph already, okay, next, C. The question asks for 2x minus 1, 3x plus 1 equals to 20. Now, this is the graph that you draw. Okay, and at the start, it says that this is equals to y. So I can replace him by y equals to 20. And in this topic, y equals to 20 is a what kind of line? It's a horizontal line. So looking at 20, I draw a horizontal line of y equals to 20. And the point of intersection, I do a dotted line downwards. At the point of intersection, I do a dotted line downwards. And so for C, from the graph, you must say that you are using the graph to solve. Okay? This is negative 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 1.75. So x is equals to negative 1.75, or x is equals to, so I look at the right side of the graph, this would be 1.9. Maybe I write down 1.9 there. Okay? Yeah. A very small one. Okay? Next, by using a suitable straight line. This type of question you must know how to do. Okay? Now, this is still okay because the left side of the equation is already equals to y. Okay? The left side of the equation is already equals to y. So I need to insert y equals to 10x plus 8. When you need to insert a new line, okay, draw a input-output table. So choose 3 values of x. I will use 0, 1, and 2. And when x is equals to 0, y is equals to 8. When x is equals to 1, y equals to 18. When x is equals to 2, 28. Make sure they are in the range of what your graph have. Okay, plot them out. 8, 18, okay, and then 38. So draw this line out. Make sure you extend the line. Make sure you extend the line beyond these 3 points. Okay, and the part that they are equal is always at the point of intersection. Okay, so label this. This would be negative 0.65. So again, we write from graph x is equals to negative 0.65, or x equals to the other side here, point of intersection. Do a dotted line downwards. .45. Try to leave it in exact as possible. Okay, and then label this line y equals to 10x plus 8. Okay, at the end of the question, I will go through more harder questions about inserting a suitable straight line for this type of graphs. Okay, and then hence state the value for which the graph 2x minus 1, 3x plus 1 is greater or equals to 10x plus 8. Okay, this one is usually for O levels. Okay, when is the graph, this is the curve on top of the line. Okay, this is the part where the curve is on top of the line here. Okay, so the important point is always at the point of intersection. I am on the, all these are on the left of the graph, so x must be smaller or equals to negative 0.65, because on the left of negative 0.65, my curve is on top of the line. Once you pass this, all this, the line is on top of the curve, so it's not useful. And the last part is here. When if I extend the line longer, these are the part that the curve is on top of the line. Okay, so all x greater or equals to 2.45. So when it's an inequality, ask yourself, when is the curve greater than the line, or vice versa? Depends on what kind, okay, of question they want. And the last part, drawing a tangent at 1,4. Okay, 1,4 is here. So to draw a tangent, place your ruler such that it only touches the curve once. Okay, so the amount of you have on the left side and on the right side must be roughly the same. Okay, and that would look like, so take your ruler, come very close to 1,4, adjust in a way that this line only touches 1,4 once. Okay, so once it touches, draw a straight line. Okay, draw a straight line. As you can see, this is not very good because it's not close enough to read, so please erase. Please erase. Okay, make sure you draw back the curve nicely. Go very close to him and draw the straight line. Once you draw the straight line, draw a dotted triangle at very nice points. Okay, draw a dotted triangle at very nice points. What are very nice points? Maybe something that is here, from here. So I draw a dotted triangle to here. Okay, take these 2 points. So this point is negative 0.4, comma negative 2.5, and this point here is 1.6, comma 10. Okay, so for your tangent, gradient of tangent, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, and I will get 12.5 over 2. Very nice number. So this is equal to 6.25. There is a range whereby they can accept your values for this kind of question. Okay, so important is, number one, get the starting x and y scale correct as much as possible so that you don't have to redo and everything. Okay, number two, if they ask you to insert any line or find the solution, you must always use the graph. The solutions are always at the point of intercept. Okay, point of intercept. And if you need more questions on inserting a suitable straight line, look at the video after this. If the question asks for inequality, always ask of when is the curve on top of the line, or vice versa. It can be vice versa. And the important crucial points are always at the point of intersection. Okay, and we are told to draw tangent, draw a line that only touches the point once, and mark out your dotted triangle to find out what is the gradient of the tangent. Okay, should not spend more than 15 to 20 minutes on this kind of question.